Hey guys, so it's me again, Adriana. Sorry for the crappy way I look. Um, didn't really feel like putting any makeup on today. I do have some leftover makeup on from last night for my eyes, cause some of the eyeshadows I have don't come off completely. Um, but enough about that. I do have a serious note as to why I'm making this video, and I'm hoping that it gets seen by a lot of people because I need as much help as I can. I've decided that I want to do something like something more than what I've been doing. I have websites up about me, my family, and about Chris Truesdale, but there's something else that I really want to do that I hold close to me. Um, if any of you have seen any of my videos before, I talk a lot about being abused like I was. I was sexually abused, for those of you who don't know. I was abused from the age of 9 to 15 by a man that basically went from being my uncle to my mom's boyfriend. He was a close personal friend when I was a baby. Um, he meant the I was the he meant the entire world to me when I was younger. And he was there for me and my mom and my brother through all our hardships. He and his girlfriend at the time were such good friends with my family that we called them our aunts and uncles. Well, those two eventually stopped being together, and my mom and him realized that they liked each other, so they started dating. A couple years after they started dating, that's when everything went south. Like, his sister accused him of being sexually abusive to her when she was younger, and this is like he was in his 40s when all this started coming out. At the same time, I started seeing my dad. He didn't really like that. Um, and basically, with the accusations his sister was giving and everything, he decided that he was going to start up again. Um, and from there, I was the main target because I was the youngest, like I was the only young girl living in the home. So he started abusing me when I was 9, and I was too scared to tell anybody until I was 15. I realized enough is enough. I finally had my courage and everything, and for about a couple months, I was testing the waters, giving my mom these odd stories to try and figure out how she would react because um, my mom doesn't have the greatest history with men, and for me, the guy that I was with that was abusing me treated her respectfully. He treated her the way she should have been treated, but he wasn't treating me well. And me being the child, I felt if I broke up the relationship, she'd hate me. So I kept it bottled up and everything. Then I finally came up with it when I was 15. We talked to the police. He was charged. Just found out he's being released next year, next summer actually, August of 2013. We don't know the exact date yet, but that's when he will be released. So I decided recently that I talked this thing into the ground. I've talked to therapists and the psychiatrist and everyone that could possibly help me mentally with that issue. I know I have other problems going on with the way I like with my childhood and stuff that I need to figure out. So my New Year's resolutions this year is to one, quit smoking, which I'm a little rocky on right now. But my cigarette consumption has gone down and I'm getting better at that. Second is to go and talk to somebody about everything that's gone on in my life and stuff that's recently happened that I'm not all too happy about. Things that make me feel kind of alone in the world right now. When I started thinking about this and everything, I've moved out on my own. I live in my own apartment with my cat who is crazy with wanting attention when I do my videos. Um, and I've recently had a really bad night. Um, I go out to my favorite bars with my sister, and my friends will buy drinks for me, and I'll tell them I'm okay, I'll tell them I'm good, and recently I've been on so much medication for different health problems that have come up that I can't consume as much as I did, and even before, the consumption I was doing was crazy. I was drinking hard alcohol that doesn't sit well in your stomach, especially not when you are doing medication that can ruin the lining of your stomach. Um, so last Saturday, I believe, I went to the hospital thinking I had alcohol poisoning because I would not say enough is enough. I want to stop drinking. I keep drinking and drinking because I don't want to deal with the thoughts that run through my head. So recently, I have decided that I want to do something that's kind of therapeutic for myself and will also help others. And that's where you guys come in. I want to create a website that anyone in the entire, like anyone can go to get tips, read articles, and stuff like that in case they're being sexually abused or abused, like mentally, verbally, physically, emotionally, because that is not right. Like, I've been through it. I've been through it my entire life, so I want to give people a way of saying, I need help, and for them not to feel alone. So I'm really good at creating websites right now, which is kind of like my hobby. So I want to create a website for this. I'm gonna see if I can get a donations thing on it to keep it going, so I can make it one of those profitable, like ones that I can keep going and not have limited space. So I want to know if anyone in other countries or something that's watched this, if you can help me find numbers or websites of local places that you guys can go to, so that if you guys need help in that certain area, like I only know the emergency stuff for the town I live in and for Canada and stuff. So I want your help for the States, for Europe, for anywhere that you could possibly be. And I want to also give you places that can maybe help you figure out where you should be going. I'm currently going to be talking to my psychiatrist and therapist, see if they'll help me figure out some websites and stuff. I'm going to be talking to my friends as well, see if they can give me a lending hand. Basically, what I want to do is create a website called Angels Cloud, and the subtext will be "There's always a way out. There's always more. There's a light at the end of the tunnel," something like that. But what it's going to be is for abuse, a help site. I'm going to have phone numbers if once I can find them. I'm going to have website links. I'm going to have articles like the telltale signs, how to find help, who to turn to. Because for me, that was one of my biggest things was I didn't know who to turn to. I didn't know who I could go to make sure that I wouldn't get in trouble for this. Being 15, I thought I was going to get in trouble. I was going to be the one everyone was mad at, but that didn't turn out to be the case. And now I've realized I have other things going on in my life that need to be checked out. And that's another thing I'm going to be putting on the site is things that could happen to you, like things that you won't realize are happening to you until you have a wake up call. Like I went through just in the last couple months, before I got really sick and before I had my kids, I would be the first person to go to the hospital or go to a doctor if I felt something was wrong with my body. But recently I've been putting it off and putting it off, and I found out at the beginning of December that I had a heart disease, like a heart condition called pericarditis. It's not something that stays with you for long term, but it can be. And it could lead to really bad complications where they'd have to do surgery around your heart. And I had that for 6 months and I didn't realize it. I thought it was just back pain. Basically, what it does is the protective lining around your heart gets inflamed and causes you to feel like you're having a heart attack. And I was having that really bad back pains and trouble breathing. I chalked the breathing up to my smoking, and I chalked the back pain up to the fact that I have a 3-year-old. I'm bending down a lot. I'm hunched over a lot, playing with her and stuff. So I figured that's what the pain was. But now I've realized that's not what it was. After that, I went through something that I'd be on antibiotics for. I was on really heavy anti-inflammatories, and I had an ulcer a year before I had my daughter. I have bipolar now from it. I have anxiety and so many more conditions that I didn't realize I had, which I'm still trying to get diagnosed. And I like being shut into my house. I don't have as many friends as I once did, and I want it to be something that I want to make something so people don't end up like me and feel like they're alone in the world. I want to be that voice that says you have a voice. You can get help. So if you guys have anything that can help me, you can private message me on my YouTube. You can put it in the comment section below. I'm also gonna put in an email that I use, but it's not one of my heavy traffic emails. That way I will see it. That way, if you guys want to email it to me and you don't feel like being recognized on YouTube or whatever, you can keep it anonymous. I promise you, it's a confidentiality thing, and I want to try and let my story get out there and help people about it, because it's one of those silent things that no one talks about anymore unless it gets in the news or something. It's kind of one of those hush hush, you can't talk about that stuff. So I want to set a movement to where people can feel empowered, because it's boys, girls, women, men, doesn't matter who you are, it happens. So I want to try and help. So that's what today's video is about. Love you guys. I hope you can help me out. Bye.